Ciao, welcome to Talk Calcio TV in this special one-off episode where we pay tribute to former Italy manager Azeglio Vicini, who passed away yesterday at the age of 84 years old. So welcome to tonight's tribute episode. As you can see, I have an Italy national shirt on, of course, as a respect to the great man Azeglio Vicini himself. What can we say about the man? Well, of course, he was born in 1933 in the Lombardy region. Of course, from Cesena he was born. As a player, he made over 300 league appearances professional as a player. He starred for Vicenza, Sampdoria and Brescia as a player before he went coaching in with the latter, actually. Now, his first spell of management came with Italy's under-23s in 1975 and then the under-21s. He took the under-21s to 3 European Championships and even one semi-final in 1984. Of course, Italy, as we know, won the World Cup in 1982 under coach Enzo Bearzot. Italy, of course, eliminated from the second round of the 1986 World Cup in Mexico. After that, Enzo Bearzot stood down after the success he had had. He was then succeeded by Azeglio Vicini, of course, who was the under-21 manager. He became the Azzurri coach. Now, Vicini, his first tournament was the European Championships 1988, as we know, won by Holland, hosted in Germany. Of course, the Azzurri made it to the semi-final where they lost to the Soviet Union, which Holland, of course, then beat in the final. He took us to there. Then, of course, at Italia 90, he was the manager of the national team in our World Cup, which we hosted on home soil. Now, in that tournament, of course, we were expected to win on home soil. Despite the bad showing in Mexico, we were expected to do very well. It's fair to say that tournament, you know, we provided some great entertaining football to watch. The likes of Giuseppe Giannini, Toto Schillaci, Gianluca Vialli, even Roberto Baggio at times. Fantastic football we produced that performance. Everyone was confident we were going to go all the way to the final. I'm sure those who know all the ins and outs of Italia 90, of course, we fell in the semi-final in Naples against Argentina, inspired by Diego Maradona, of course, on penalties. Of course, Toto Schillaci gave Italy the lead, to be pegged back by Roma striker Claudio Caniggia after a mistake by Walter Zenga. Of course, in the deciding penalty shootout, Aldo Serena and both Roberto Donadoni missed, and of course it was Argentina that went to Rome at the Stadio Olimpico for the final, whilst we then had to settle for third after beating England in the third and fourth playoff. So, you know, Vicini, 2 major tournaments, he didn't win anything for the Azzurri. It's fair to say, if you look at his record, he's one of the most successful Italian coaches of all time. You know, his record is there, it speaks for itself. You know, I'm sure he himself, even myself, and many Italians, we always look back at Italia 90 and think, what if on that penalty shootout and that semi-final in Naples against Argentina at the time, who were world champions, so the reigning champions at the time. Of course, they lost in the final to West Germany, albeit an Andrea Brain. So after Italia 90, of course, Vicini stood down as Azzurri coach. He was succeeded by the successful AC Milan coach Arrigo Sacchi. Now, after then, Vicini didn't really have much of a job in management. In fact, his last job was at Udinese, of course, 1993 to 94 season. When you look back at Italy, I think one major criticism of his that was always aimed at him was the fact he would never play Gianluca Vialli and Roberto Baggio at the same time. Of course, we know years ago Trapattoni would do the same. He would never play Totti and Del Piero together. That was one of his criticism. Again, you know, I mean, you look at the state Italian football's in now, I think we'd give an arm and a leg to have a coach like Azeglio Vicini right now. A true gentleman indeed, as we know. So after he'd sort of finished from coaching, he had an advisory role with the Italian FA, that's the FIGC. A role that he held until 2010 when Roberto Baggio then took over from him. He was married, of course, had 3 children. So yeah, it's fair to say yesterday's news of his passing was greeted with very sadness from himself. I'm sure all fans worldwide of Italian football and calcio in general. Azeglio Vicini was a true gentleman. I'd finish off by saying grazie Vicini. You gave us so many good moments as Azzurri coach, even if we didn't win a tournament. The football, I think, one of the best Italian teams ever, never to win a World Cup. He would be a great miss to the world of Italian football. words can't describe. You know, you hear about legendary coach, a term that's overused nowadays. Even if someone doesn't win a major tournament, that's never always a true reflection on a coach, like it was for Vicini. So I'd like to finish by saying rest in peace, grazie Azeglio, arrivederci.